Success does not change people, it only amplifies you to thinking more of new business ideas and seeing beyond the horizon. This is Kilimo Hai and welcome to Tausi Farm. Our guest tonight is Perkins Murungi, the founder of Tausi Farm. Thank you, Perkins, for inviting us to your farm. Maybe you can share with us some of the things that go on around here.
Thank you very much too for visiting with us. I'm Perkins Murungi, owner Tausi Farm, where we take care of birds. We are about birds and birds are about us. So here we raise quite a number of different species of birds, from peacocks, pheasants, bantams, we do quails, we do guinea fowls, we do budgies, we do cockatiels, and we keep introducing new species whenever we find them.
Okay. Thank you so much. Maybe you can tell us what motivated you into venturing into bird farming?
I've been brought up raising birds, so I've loved them from quite a tender age. And I think taking care of birds gave me satisfaction. So raising them from a chick to a mature one, you see them breeding. So eventually I loved birds, then I also loved bird watching. So it also motivated me to eventually take care of these birds eventually in life.
Okay, thank you so much. I understand you're an IT expert.
Sure.
What motivated you, like what made you venture, leave what you used to do and venture more into bird farming? And I understand you focus completely in bird farming because you spend most of the time around here. So you cannot multitask the two, focus on this business and maybe do something else. So it leaves you to focus completely on Tausi Farm.
Yeah, well, my background training is IT. I've done a degree in IT, but well, it's not completely useless to me. I do one, two things, researching birds, creating websites. So I've been doing on and off IT, but I think passion for birds, satisfaction. So I've worked for around 3 years, but your 8 to 5 job, somehow I saw I'm not part of it. I need peace satisfaction as I would need. So more taking care of these birds. And again, apart from the income it generated, just ile kuzipenda tu ndege. So I used to collect birds. It was started as a hobby, collecting birds and but I learned it from my dad. So yes, amenifunza hiyo maneno, but I eventually took over. So he was the one initially doing it, but I completely took over from him. So I started just collecting birds. So nikapata watu wawili watatu wako interested seeing birds. And so they go, a friend tells a friend tells a friend. So that's how it became business eventually. So again, ile kuwa self-employment, I think it's kujiajiri tu. So eventually I quit my job to fully concentrate on bird keeping.
Okay, thank you. You mentioned the term satisfaction. What sort of satisfaction do you get focusing on Tausi Farm?
Well, I think different people, different characteristics, not being rude, but mimi ni wale sipendi kuambiwa, in quotes. So I like making my own decisions. I make my own rules. I follow them. So I think I found it's more appealing to me just to, even if it wasn't birds, I would still do my own business regardless. But then since from a young age, I really wanted to do a bird sanctuary. So eventually that's when but I think I worked just to get capital to buy more birds. So hiyo kuamuka najipanga mimi mwenyewe, I find it's more satisfying to me than ile 8 to 5 job. Yes, but I wouldn't discourage anyone doing 8 to 5 job. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. Business is business. You decided to venture in bird farming. Why not any other business, but you just found bird farming to be that type of satisfaction you could get from bird farming? Maybe you can tell us something about that?
Yeah, but well, I with that question, I would want to lean on the bringing up. I think the ways you bring a kid, mostly they tend, well, a few will sway from that to start their own thing, but most they will still stick to the line. So I've been brought up with birds. So I've been brought up knowing birds. I've been brought up, and from a tender age, I loved visiting the orphanage. Well, them, they had animals. So to me, animals and birds, but I saw there's a reluctance of people doing birds. So that's why I tended to fully focus on birds. And I just love birds from the tender age. Yes, so I said if you're going to do business, then I concentrate on these things.
We are going for a break, and after the break, Murungi is going to tell us what it takes to own a bird sanctuary and how to manage it. Murungi, tell us what does it take to own such a sanctuary?
First, the drive to take care of these birds, because one, they need feeding, they need treatment. But again, most of these birds, they need licensing from the Kenya Wildlife Service. So you have to visit the Kenya Wildlife Service. They have to permit you to breed, and eventually probably, because I breed and sell. But now you have to get permission from them. They have to come inspect where you're keeping them, the place you're going to keep them, how you're going to take care of them, your background taking care of birds, before they can allow you to take care of these birds. Because what we do with these birds, as much as we are doing business, we'd want to maintain their lineage. So for ages to come, to see these birds, to know about them, not just to, unlike us, we just hear about dinosaurs. We've never seen them, we are not going to see them ever. But so we want to maintain this lineage of these birds, so for ages to come.
Okay, maybe you can mention to us what is most likely to be the startup cost to have such a business.
I wouldn't give a quote, because it depends if you're buying, because they range from eggs. Well, for me starting, we even sourced eggs from the US and different other countries where you'd find these birds. So it depends with your budget, because they start from, even you can buy eggs, you can buy a fully mature bird, you can buy a young bird. So it depends what your budget is, but they range like roughly. So I wouldn't have like a specific quote, like, but indulging in this, so you need not much. Even with 20,000, 10,000, you can start such a thing. Yes, because the cages you can source them locally. You can just use local. You don't have to do very expensive cages. You can just start small and build a brand, pole pole.
Okay, thank you. The climatic conditions in Kenya and that of other countries is totally different. What do you do with the birds that you have around here so that they can be able to survive in the climatic conditions? Like somewhere you mentioned to me some of the birds are from Australia. Definitely the climatic conditions here in Kenya and that in Australia is different. So maybe how do they cope and how do they survive in our environment, unlike their normal environment, which is probably another country?
Well, for that case, that's why even the country as we speak, they don't allow live birds to come in from other countries. So what you do, you source eggs. But once you bring eggs, by the time this chick is hatched, then they adapt to the climatic changes of the said country. So by the time because now you're bringing an egg, so they hatch to the climatic conditions of the said country. So they adapt easily and take over, yes. Different from if you're bringing now a bird from outside to here.
Okay, with any business, challenges are there. So maybe you can tell us some of the challenges that you come across within your sanctuary, and how do you deal with such challenges?
Well, the biggest hurdle in bird keeping is management of diseases. Like we've walked around with you, you see one, two, you find one dead, another one is dead here. So yeah, that one will happen with I think any living thing. There is bird, there is death. But again, so we keep the most strict thing with these birds is management of diseases. So you have to start by vaccinating from the day they are hatched. You have to start managing their health from that point up to probably maturity. Even after maturity, then there's also still vaccination you do. Like for mature birds, for that case, you do like deworming every 3 months, every 4 months. You do like things like Newcastle disease. So you have to be very keen with what you're keeping. If there's an outbreak too, you're very keen, and where you source your birds from. If you're buying locally, is this person treating their birds? Again, we personally avoid buying just birds just anyhowly. I have to do my research, know where they are coming from, if they are being treated, because the biggest challenge with these birds is diseases. Yes, so some of these diseases they can clear your flock in a day or two. So to say, like Newcastle disease. So you have to be very keen and attentive with them. So I'm very hands-on with my birds. So every day I'm here early in the morning. I might not spend the whole day there, but again I feed them myself, so I have to go around checking and you'll know, like a bird, you'll know an active bird from a sick bird if you hands-on with them. Yeah, so the biggest challenge becomes diseases.
Okay, thank you. Like you said, you go around the farm checking on your birds, vaccinating, etc. Is there any problem when probably you're handling a sick bird? As in, is there any effect towards you, the human, from these animals? Like, can you contract a certain disease from them, or maybe they can contract for you? It's a two-way traffic. Disease is a disease. You can get it either way, from the bird to the human, from the human to the bird.
None that I've experienced, but well, I wouldn't want to experiment with myself or anyone for that matter. But we don't slaughter, or for that matter, we don't slaughter sick birds. They are not. So actually, most of the sick birds, if they die, what I do, I bury them, just to make sure that thing is over and done once and for all. So I've not heard of any communicable diseases from humans to birds, or vice versa. Okay. Yes, but probably I hear avian flu or something. Well, we've not experienced it in Kenya, but I understand it's a very deadly disease. That one can come from the birds to humans, and it's very deadly. But in Kenya, I've not heard of it yet. Okay. Yes.
You've ventured in the business and you've seen the fruits of the business. Maybe share some advice with someone out there who is kind of thinking of starting the business but feels like, what if I start the business and maybe these are the challenges I'm going to come across? As in, what advice can you give them?
Well, do your research, follow. Some say it's not only passion plus hard work. Again, know your market, know what eventually you want to do, because a bird sanctuary, you can, apart from selling the birds, also you can do local tourism. So you start small, start with what you have, then build pole pole. Well, it takes time, like any other business. It has challenges, but it takes time. So the key thing with, I think, any business is patience. So don't hurry to make that coin, that dollar. No, just take your time. Of course, first invest, then eventually it will pay back.
Okay, thank you. Maybe you can, with every business, there's that everything is working out for you and you feel like I can expand. Do you have any plans of expanding and having other branches within the country or maybe outside the country?
Yes, but I think first within the country, there is so much to explore in this country. So the biggest challenge anyone would have, or anyone want to start this business, or anyone doing this business, the challenge they keep saying is space, lack of space, because these things, they need space. So, and in Kenya's now land, the prices are something else. So, I would like to expand. At times, we also lease lands to, but you see, leasing a land, you're not permanent there. So, the challenge, I would like to expand, but now the challenge comes to land now, availability of land, and also accessibility of where this land is. Because again, you want somewhere where it's accessible. Probably, mostly we target children, kids who are growing up to knowing these birds. Yes, some of them they just see peacocks on books, peafoods on books. So the biggest challenge, we'll do to expand, yes, but now land becomes an issue, but we're working on that. So whenever we get a small piece of land, probably take it up.
Okay, you've mentioned mostly your market is focusing on kids and how you can let them see these birds live, because I understand when you go to Nairobi National Park, the birds are there, but these are just models that have been made, so you open up to them. So what is the most contributing factor to your success?
One, when I see these kids learn, and most of them actually they go ahead and keep these birds as pets, then I'm sure of the future generation. These things will still go on from one generation to another. That's why we mostly focus on. Well, also any other person who needs to take the business, but our main focus is these young ones coming up. Yes.
Okay, thank you. In every business and in general in life, you learn lessons, you gain experience. You move from being an IT expert and to the rearing birds, and now you have a bird sanctuary. What are some of the lessons that you've learned on this journey that you uptook?
Some of these things, if they would apply to humans, like the way behavioral factors of like pigeons. These birds, they are, I wouldn't say they are more wise than human beings, but the way they take care of their young ones, I wish our society today we would raise our kids that way. Like you are hands-on with these people. That's why even our focus now shifted slightly towards young people. Again, apart from saying there are no jobs, you can do this and you won't sleep hungry. Yes, whatever thing you do, probably you get something out of it.
Okay. You've mentioned something. We went around, we came across different bird breeds, and most of these breeds that you have here are not sourced locally. You mentioned getting eggs from other countries. Maybe you can tell us what is the challenge of exporting these eggs from other countries?
Well, back then we used to, currently, we rarely import now, since most, again, when back then, a lot of insecurities like we have around the continent and around the world as it is. So the challenge of eggs is scanning. So back then we would just label these are eggs, so they wouldn't undergo scanning, because now scanning, when those rays pass through the egg, mostly they kill the embryo of the egg. And that's now, once that is killed, then that egg becomes completely useless. So it has become a challenge importing eggs now to the country, because of now they have to undergo scanning through all the airports they are coming through. So, now, but luckily we had sourced quite a number of birds, so we just now, probably now, we can now selling locally. Unless, we import, yes, but out of around 30 eggs, you would find around 5 only make it, they are fertilized, so the rest, they become waste. But it goes with business, you take risks. Yes, so we still go on, but unless it's a pure, like a very pure new breed, That's what we now go there all the way now to do the importing. But most of the birds now we have locally here.
Okay, thank you. You've mentioned things to do with the different breeds that you have around here. Do you go for specific breed, or is there a certain breed that you mainly focus on, or maybe something like you've done some research on a certain breed and you feel like I want this type of breed on my farm, or you just pick any bird and see it, trial and error and see if it works and everything. So tell us something about that.
No, well, for birds, we don't just keep any bird because some are very wild. You wouldn't domesticate. So you research on birds that can be domesticated. You can bring it up because at the end of the day, you want to breed. You're not keeping a bird into captivity just for the fun of it because of the beauty. Then that will be now you're not doing justice to that bird. So we keep birds that we know they can breed in captivity. So we do research on birds, and mainly I focus on ornamental birds, not just any bird. So ornamental birds, and it has to be it's possible to breed it once I capture it. It's possible to breed it, and probably even eventually these things you can even release one or two to the forest. But here now in the country currently they wouldn't survive, so you'd rather keep them enclosed.
Yeah, it's safer.
Yes, safer inside.
Okay, I remember you mentioned something to do with vaccination. The vaccines that you're vaccinating them, is it something that you can get locally, or is it something that has to be imported from outside? Is it a challenge for you to get the vaccines?
No, that is totally locally. That is available in all our agro shops. It's locally available.
Okay. What are the licensing requirements for you to have these birds on your farm?
One is space. So because these birds are also, again they don't have to be crowded in one place. Cleanliness. Then your ability to feed these birds, so they are not underfed. They are not. So you just don't really let them look for food anywhere. So the ability to feed them and take care of them, including treatment. Yes. So basically, those are the requirements. Once you meet those requirements, then you are licensed to keep the birds.
Okay, once you've received the license, do they, especially from KWS, do they come frequently for surveys, or maybe once in a year, or maybe just tell us something?
They do. Hence the licensing. They don't just license then leave you to do your stuff, because and again, once they license you, they have to know also your source, because you also to source these things from licensed breeders. So they frequently come without notice. That's their job, and that's what it should be, so that to see if actually you're doing what you had said you'll do. If they don't meet the requirements, then they cancel your license and they take your birds with them. Yes, so you have to be very strict. So they are very strict with their licensing nowadays now.
Okay. Yes. Do you have any future dreams for Tausi farm?
Yeah, opening branches all over, and I've sold 2 or 3 outside the country, but again, we'll do to sell them even far than outside Africa in general in future, and probably open branches in different countries around Eastern Africa for starting.
Okay, thank you so much. We appreciate your time. We appreciate what you are doing around here. And this is really inspiring. I've seen for myself, I've seen how you treat the birds. They live in good condition, and it's a good initiative. It's wonderful. It's beautiful to enjoy nature, and we appreciate that you accepted our invite. And for more information about this, we've shared with us. We appreciate that too. Thank you so much.
Thanks too for visiting, and we are always open to visitors. Karibu tena.
That's all we had for you, viewers, and hope you've learned one or two, gained from his experience, and maybe you would like to venture in the business. So keep it Kilimo High, same place, same time next week. With me, your host, Mabruka Abbas.